Hello? Yeah, that's better. Right. Thanks all for coming. I called this simple vigil was to grieve those affected by the recent conflict in Gaza, to allow our compassion, our community, to symbolically come together and peacefully take a moment to collectively grieve for all civilians that have died in Israel and Gaza, and to hope for a peaceful resolution as soon as possible. Stressing that the violence in Israel which caused civilian casualties is not excusable, while acknowledging that this happened in the context of the decades-long oppression of Palestinians. It is difficult to comprehend the horror to which so many civilians have been subjected to in recent days, and I fear for the fate of those caught up in the conflict. I'm also concerned about the impact that the situation is having on those of Israeli and Palestinian heritage living in Wales. We must condemn the attacks by Hamas, the taking of innocent lives, and the barbarity with which civilians have been treated can never be justified, and support calls for the international community to intervene so as to impose a ceasefire so that humanitarian aid can flow into Gaza and for the hostages held by Hamas to be released. All violence is abhorrent, so is apartheid. Gaza's 2+ million population live under blockade in what even Israel's own former intelligence chief has called an open-air prison. The overwhelming majority live in poverty, many suffering from lifelong psychological and physical trauma. Ordinary Palestinians have been let down by the international community and have suffered years of violence and injustice. Collective punishment of innocent civilians cannot be justified and will do nothing to bring about peace in the region. More than 1 million Palestinians are still trapped in Gaza, and the Israeli military continues to bomb and starve. Over the past 2 weeks, Israel has killed more than 4,200 Palestinians in Gaza, a third of them children. Palestinians were told to evacuate to the south, only to have the road identified as safe bombed as they drove and walked it. Hospitals, schools, mosques, churches have been demolished. So many deaths and so much violence with no clear end. There is no military solution to this conflict. No amount of bombing or ground invasion, no height of collective punishment will make anyone safer anywhere between the river and the sea. Medical personnel and aid workers are facing huge barriers in delivering desperately needed supplies to the over 2 million who are trapped there. We need a humanitarian corridor into Gaza to protect civilian lives. Palestinians have the right to live in dignity and peace, the right to movement as refugees, and the right of return. We cannot stand by as Palestinians and Israeli civilians pay the price for political failure. Now is the time to act in the name of humanity and refuse to be divided. Thank you all. Cheers. I will now let Harry release the poem.
Thanks, Dave. That was very moving. And it's good to see so many people here today. I wish there was a few more, but we're here, and that's what's important. I wrote a poem this morning as I lay in bed listening to the radio and listening to what the media are saying about our politicians and politicians from America, and the way in which they're trying to tell us that they're standing by Israel and what it's doing. So I wrote this poem because these are the words that I think the politicians and leaders should be using. It's called Ceasefire Now. Sunak says we wanted to win. Win? Win? Win what? This is not a game or a war. It's genocide. That's what it is, genocide. Sunak sits down with officials that call people animals. Yes, beasts and animals. He is so wrong. He does not speak for me, not me. evil collective punishment, it's genocide. This giant war crime ain't a game, it's criminal. International law, what's that? It's a smokescreen. Ethnic cleansing, it's Nakba 2. Bombs fall all day, bombs fall all night. Vengeance writ large, it's not a game. This is not about winning wars, it's racism. Where do we find Sunak's mandate? He ain't got one. Nobody voted for him to say, we stand with you. Britain fought those German Nazis in World War II. How soon we forget why we fought for what we died. We didn't fight to stand by whilst tanks roll, bombs drop across Gaza each day and night. Terrorism. That's what this is. Terrorism. It's not a game. To stand with them until they win? What does win mean? Gaslit. Biden pats his own back. 20 lorries filled with aid. They can't get through because Israel bombed the roads. Where's the ceasefire? Why won't Starmer, Sunak, Biden call for ceasefire? We need ceasefire. We want ceasefire. 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 Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire. 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 Ceasefire now. Thank you. If anybody else wants to come and make a contribution, say something or read, please feel free, the mic's open there.